This is more or less my non-spoiler review of this movie. I'm not entirely sure if I'll do a spoiler review of it or not because I think I am really behind on this because I lost track of time when the movie came out and I was meant to review it the day it came out, but like I said, I lost track of time. My schedule for uploading is very messy, so sometimes slip. And this was definitely one of those times because I was sick when it came out. Then when I was sick, I was going to make this video as soon as I got unsick. But then She-Hulk came out, so I had to review that, and then I had to catch up on Dark Crisis, and now I'm finally getting to Werewolf by Night. Either way, like I said, it's a non-spoiler review, so there's not going to be too many details of what I really like about the movie or what I don't like about the movie, but I will say this, I don't know if I'll make a spoiler review or not, but like I said, this is my non-spoiler review, and I will say upfront, I do like the movie the most part. I like the most of the movie. There are certain parts of the movie that I thought were a little, not necessarily bad, but could be improved. This is going to be more of a positive review than a negative one because I'd like more positivity on my channel than negative stuff. So, yeah. Starting off is the werewolf himself. In my opinion, I thought he was very good. I thought the actor did a great job. I thought the CGI was very good, or I would say pretty good, especially with black and white. I think it makes it look a lot better, similar to WandaVision. But I think the black and white really helped the CGI here. In my opinion, I think this character is very interesting. I would like him to go forward. I don't think he has to be a big character, but I would really, really like if he at least continued to appear. I would watch a sequel to this film. Like, I would definitely watch a sequel. In fact, I think it needs a sequel. Well, of course, you could disagree with that, but I do really think it needs a sequel. Overall, I think he was a very interesting character. I really like Jack Russell from the comics. He's not like a favorite character of mine from the comics, but I thought they really did him justice on this film because Marvel sometimes slips up, like Gore the God Butcher. I thought they did him really poorly. Same thing with Mighty Thor, that being Jane Foster. I thought they did them both really, really poorly. And I'm actually a pretty big fan of both of those characters. But Werewolf by Night, I think, was done very well. And in my opinion, not necessarily better, but he's different than the comics, but the same at the same time. I won't go into detail, like I said, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Next is Elsa Bloodstone. Also, fun fact, when I was looking over my notes, I realized I can make a joke about each of these characters' names. Werewolf by Night is Jack Russell, Elsa Bloodstone is Elsa, and ManThing is ManThing. Anyways, in my opinion, Elsa Bloodstone was, in the trailer, poorly marketed because I thought she was going to be a drag. I really like the character from the comics. I think the character in the comics is a very interesting character, but a very, very confusing one. I thought this version of the character was, at least in my opinion, well, not as edgy. I still thought she made an impression, and the actress who plays her does the best she can. So I think the character generally needs to go on too, like Werewolf by Night, perhaps in a smaller role than him, but still, I think she needs to come back. I think the character really does, is a very big scene stealer when she ever appears. She just steals the scene. Well, I wouldn't say steal it, but I would say accompany it. Definitely helps it go along. And I also think the character, from the marketing, I was very afraid because I thought the character came across very wimpy and very damsel in distress. So I'm very, very happy and very, very proud to say that the character is very much not that in this movie. Instead, she's very strong and has a lot of great moments. Well, it's only 50 minutes, so, a couple great moments, but still. So I really hope this character continues as well. Man-Thing. Well, I will say this. I really don't like Man-Thing from the comics. I know a lot of people really like Man-Thing. I've never liked the character. I hated his solo movie when it came out in 2005. I think that's when it came out. I was born in 2005, actually, but I watched it when I was older, obviously. But Man-Thing, in my opinion, has always been a character I really disliked. And I'm really sorry if you love Man-Thing. I just don't see the appeal. I think the character is very hard to look at, and I think the character is just very not necessary. But, and this is a big but, I thought he was a pretty good character in this movie. I really did. I think this character is better than it is in the comics. Well, he doesn't have, okay, this might be a slight spoiler, but he's not like as big as Elsa and Werewolf by Night in this movie. But what they have of him, I really liked. I thought his design made him look a lot more appealing, because in the comics, I always found him to look really, really gross. But here, I thought the character came across a little more monstery than just slimeball-y. Either way, I thought the Man-Thing, CGI especially, his CGI was, in my opinion at least, very, very, very good. Like, surprisingly good. Because I've been reviewing She-Hulk, and while I really like the show, I do have to admit, the whole CGI on She-Hulk is sometimes just, ugh, like, really, really bad. So I was pleasantly surprised that ManThing CGI was this good. Either way, I do think the character should return. Maybe not in a big role like Werewolf by Night, and I wouldn't say I'm excited for him as much as other characters, like Elsa Bloodstone Werewolf, but I will say this, I do think the character has a future in the MCU and can stick around for a bit. Maybe not forever, but just a little bit longer. And that's it. I think this movie is very good. There are some problems I have with it, and there's other characters I really want to talk about, but I don't know how I can talk about them without spoiling the movie. Personally, I really, really like this movie. There's certain parts I wasn't a big fan of, and there's a lot of stuff I really like they went for. For example, this movie is very violent in moments, like very, very violent, and like to the point where I'm surprised they can be this violent. But I did enjoy it. Personally, I don't really like old school horror movies that much, but if you really, really like old school horror movies, then I think this will be right up your alley because it's very reminiscent of that, and I thought from the trailer it looked like they're making fun of it, but the movie itself, I think, was actually embracing it. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.